This is your winning strategy for 2025. We're going to see a lot of slop. We're going to see a lot of AI generated content. It's inevitable. There's a lot of newcomers to the game that don't want to work, that don't want to build anything. They just want to prompt ChatGPT and have content created automatically. The slop is common, gentlemen and ladies. But the truth of the slop is that nobody cares about information anymore. We're past the knowledge economy. You can get knowledge from Google, you can get knowledge from searching, from Perplexity, ChatGPT, Cloud. Pick your favorite AI chatbot. People want raw content. They want raw information from you. They want your experience and a way to relate their story to their story. They don't want information. They don't want how to's. They don't want tutorials. They don't want guides. This is gone. This is done. No more. We passed that. This is what we're doing. We're telling personal stories, talking about what we are doing, what we are building, why we're building this. We tell stories of our clients, our friends. We tell human stories. Like I said, people want to relate to people, not to AI generated content. Even though it sounds good, it flows, makes sense, it's perfectly written. It's not raw, it's not relatable. We're gonna edit less. We're not gonna sound polished. This is raw video. This is not gonna get much edited. Maybe cut in some pauses and ums and ahs, but not even. Here's me from my camera talking to you, the listener, on the whiteboard, sharing ideas, sharing perspective. Another thing, if you do use AI, and you should, and I do, be genuine when you do use AI, when and how, and talk about this. I share tutorials and videos how I use AI in my workflow process. And if I do write something and I have AI read over it and fix mistakes and maybe help me write better text, I say it. It's fine. No, nobody is expecting you to be perfect, and people do make mistakes. And AI helps with research. AI helps with idea generation, with outlines. There are places and time to use AI. This is not an anti-AI talk. This is talk about what people will prefer from your brand, from you as a creator. Another thing we have to do is collaborate. Two humans talking to each other, discussing ideas, sharing knowledge, and sharing their experiences is exactly what made podcasts popular before AI. People got tired of just talking ahead, got tired of information. They want to be part of the conversation. They want to be involved, even if unilaterally, even if it's just listening in on the conversation of two creatives or two business owners or two builders, whatever. They want to hear the conversation. They don't want to know the information. Information is becoming a commodity. Like I said, you can search for information. You can ask your favorite AI chatbot and you get the information. You don't need to go to your creator for the information. Information is a commodity. So, what we do focus more is the creation process. We talk about how we come up with ideas. We talk about how we build things. If you're building software, if you're building products, if you're building a business, talk about your business and how you're building your business. We talk about process, not information. The times when an online influencer comes onto YouTube and says, I've built a multi-million dollar business and this is how I did it, is over. That time is over. Everyone can do that. But only creators that focus on the process of building something will attract listeners, will attract loyal fans. Yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of things to share, but when they built their business, it was different times. We didn't have AI. They built it in a different strategy that probably might or might not work today. The fundamentals remain the same, but you don't need to go to a creator to hear fundamentals. You can ask ChatGPT about building business, and it will give you the same fundamentals that Alex Hermosi would tell you. There's pretty much a handful of ways to skin a cat. We need to reflect more in public. This is what brings genuine perception and perspective. The more we share our ideas in public, the more we engage in the dialogue with our audience, with our fans, with our subscribers, the more we humanize the relationship. We reflect, they reflect, we have a debate, discussion, get a couple trolls in. This is part of the brand. This is what humanizing aspect of artifacts of humanity. That's what I read today on Twitter. I like that quote. I like that term. I can't exactly tell you who said that. I'll find it. So yeah, we need to create artifacts of humanity. And finally, this is probably the key. The perspective is more important than the knowledge. Because factual knowledge, well, first of all, not every single knowledge is factual. It's always very subjective. But knowledge is abundant. You can find knowledge online. You have databases, books, you have tons of knowledge at your fingertips. But perspective is a little bit something AI cannot provide you. It can interpret knowledge, it can try to put together different ideas from the knowledge it has, but only human brain can, emotional human brain, we'll talk about emotions more. Emotional human brain can create perspective because we have our own unique experiences. And yeah, every single AI model is trained in a unique way, and your ChatGPT output is going to be slightly different than mine. And if you factor in memory and maybe the data you feed to it, it will be different, but not like human perspective. There's multi billion parameter that we expose our brain to every day. Our brain is evolving machine learning mechanism. If your chat GPT or LLM is trained once and then they retrain it every so often to fine tune the model, we train literally every second we exist. If we expose ourselves to new experiences, to new knowledge, to new information, to different perspectives, we build so many connections that vector database in our brain is magnitudes bigger than vector database in whatever is the leading AI model. But I want to kind of expand on this perspective part because I think it's underrated and I think it's not discussed enough. What makes human human is emotion behind the action. AI does not have emotion. It does not act from the emotional state. It acts from the factual state. But emotion is what makes us human. And without emotion, we would be very robotic. We would be like, sorry, we would be boring. Nobody would want to hang out with us if we didn't have emotions. Trust me, like you would not like to hang out with ChatGPT as a friend. If it was humanized and put into a human form and set next to you, or Claude, or whatever the model you like, you would get very bored talking to that thing. Emotion is what makes us human. That's actually the relatable part. This is why personal stories matter, because personal stories encompass emotional experience. Even if it's something factual, even if it's business, or there's always underlying emotional context to it. So I would argue that emotion, perspective, and experience, let me actually make it like this, would be the three key pillars of what makes us human and what AI cannot possibly ever replace, because it's just not human. It can simulate, I agree, we can simulate emotions and maybe even get to the point where they're pretty real. Like some stuff AI produces is very real, seems real. But the more you spend time with large language model, the more you talk to it, the more you realize and it ain't the human that you think it is. Okay, that's it. Enough of my rant. Focus on talking about your personal experience, give perspective on things that you know, learn, understand, and put emotions into this, whatever fuck you're doing. Cheers.